Welcome back to HilariousHistoriyaa, where we bring history to life. Today, we're embarking on a journey back to the early 19th century to dissect one of the most significant military blunders in history, Napoleon Bonaparte's invasion of Russia in 1812. This decision, often cited as Napoleon's greatest regret, not only led to catastrophic losses, but also marked the beginning of the end for his empire. Let's delve into this monumental event and understand why it haunted Napoleon until his final days. Napoleon Bonaparte, a figure often romanticized for his military genius and imperial conquests, rose from modest beginnings in Corsica to become the Emperor of the French. His rise was meteoric, his ambition boundless. By the early 19th century, he had reshaped the map of Europe, but his insatiable desire for expansion would soon lead him down a path of irreversible consequences. The seeds of the Russian campaign were sown in the complex geopolitical landscape of post-revolutionary Europe. The Napoleonic Wars had seen a constant struggle for dominance, with France and Britain at the forefront. Russia, initially an ally in Napoleon's continental system, which aimed to economically isolate Britain, began to drift away by 1810, resuming trade with the British and thus, in Napoleon's eyes, betraying France. In preparation for the invasion, Napoleon assembled the Grand Armée, a force of over 600,000 men, drawn from various conquered and allied states of Europe. This massive army, while impressive in numbers, was a logistical nightmare, with supply lines stretched thin and a diverse composition of languages and cultures. On June 24, 1812, Napoleon's Grand Armée crossed the Niemen River, marking the beginning of the invasion. The initial phase saw rapid advancements. However, the Russian army, under the command of Tsar Alexander I and generals like Mikhail Kutuzov, avoided direct confrontation, instead retreating deeper into Russian territory, drawing the French further away from their supply bases. As the Russians retreated, they implemented a scorched earth policy, burning crops, villages, and resources, leaving nothing for the French to use. This strategy, while devastating to their own land, significantly hindered Napoleon's advance, as his army struggled with dwindling supplies and stretched supply lines. The campaign's turning point came at the Battle of Borodino in September 1812. It was one of the deadliest single-day battles in the Napoleonic Wars. Napoleon achieved a tactical victory, but failed to decisively defeat the Russian army, which withdrew in good order. The French army, already weakened by the long march and lack of supplies, suffered immense casualties. Following Borodino, Napoleon marched into Moscow, expecting a surrender. Instead, he found a largely abandoned city, soon engulfed in flames. The Russians had set Moscow on fire, refusing to let it fall into French hands. With winter approaching and no sign of Russian capitulation, Napoleon's position became untenable. In October 1812, Napoleon ordered a retreat from Moscow. The retreat turned into a disaster as the Russian winter set in. The Grand Armée, ill-prepared for the harsh conditions, faced freezing temperatures, starvation, and constant harassment by Russian forces. The retreat turned into a rout, and by the time Napoleon's forces crossed back over the Niemen River, the Grand Armée had been decimated. In the years following the Russian campaign, as Napoleon faced defeat and exile, he often reflected on his decision to invade Russia. Napoleon regretted underestimating the harsh Russian winter, the resilience of the Russian people and army, and overestimating his own logistical capabilities. The invasion of Russia was a turning point in the Napoleonic Wars. It galvanized Napoleon's enemies across Europe, leading to the formation of new coalitions against him. The catastrophic loss of men and material in Russia weakened Napoleon's army irreparably, setting the stage for his eventual defeat and abdication. In conclusion, Napoleon's invasion of Russia stands as a stark reminder of the perils of overreach and the unpredictability of warfare. It was a decision driven by ambition, hubris, and a miscalculation of geopolitical realities, a decision that Napoleon deeply regretted and one that would ultimately lead to his downfall and reshape the course of European history. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey. If you found this exploration of Napoleon's greatest regret insightful, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most fascinating moments. Until next time, keep exploring the past to understand the present.